Now, alright, man. It's your boy, man, Eric, aka Young God, man, coming to you from the Orange Dungeon this time, man. Getting into your real raw rugged, and we got a special guest in the building, as Breakfast Club like to say, man. Introduce yourself for us, please.
DJ Slim K from the Top Stars from H-Town, Texas. What it do?
Hey, man. For the people that don't know who Slim K is, for the people that are ignorant to who you are, just let them know your background, who you are.
Well, shoot, I am to make it simple, I am a DJ who specializes in chopping, screwing, slowing down music to a particular tempo, and from there, making mixtapes and putting it out to the world. Slowing down the world one song at a time.
Hey, man. How you doing today, man? I gotta ask you that first.
I mean, it's good. I'm trying to start off 2017 right. Just relaxing. I haven't really just been doing anything lately. Just been kind of just chilling, just relaxing for holidays.
As you should. Well, as a child, were you heavy into music? And when you were young, what were you listening to growing up?
Uh, when I was young, shit, that's a while ago. When I heavy into music? Yeah, I was. I mean, I grew up listening to a whole bunch of Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, MC Hammer, Chris Cross. So they can kind of give you an idea, like kind of like early '90s, late '80s. Um, uh, you said was I into DJing at the time?
No, just like were you heavy into music? Like, did you were you like have a love for music as a child?
Oh yeah, I had a love of music from like. I mean, when I look at pictures, like it's like as soon as I pretty much was out the womb. Like I mean, there's like pictures of me when I was like young with like little uh Care Bear like turntables or whatever, and I have like singles of like Billie Jean, singles of like Prince and stuff like that, and I'll just be like just dancing around in the living room. I just like listening to music. I just put on a record player and just play.
Well, did you like well, speaking of DJing, when did you start getting to DJing, and were you chopping at first, or did that come later in the DJing career?
I was interested in DJing. I guess I always had like an interest in like music and like kind of like playing music for people. So you can say like the actual act of DJing, which is like playing music for a crowd. I've been interested in it since I was a kid. But like I would just play around with like the turntables and stuff like that I had at my parents' home at the time. When it did come into chopping and screwing, I didn't really get interested into chopping and screwing until I heard DJ Screw Great tapes and stuff like that. This was back when I was young, but I was pretty much old enough to recognize what it was. I had older cousins and older friends that were like carrying around like great tapes, and I used to like to listen to like the Tupac songs at the time that was like chopped up and or screwed, and like the freestyles that were like screwed. Like they used to call them screw tapes. They were great tapes. They used to come in like these little Maxwell joints. My dad used to have those same Maxwell tapes. That's why I was intrigued by them because I used to carry dubs of like my own personal songs that I would record from the radio to school, and everybody used to like try and like hang around me like, oh man, yo, you have a great tape, and I was like, man, I don't know what a great tape is, but it was the same type of tape that DJ Screw used to buy from like Sam's Club or whatever he was buying it from, and he used to like write the tapes of names of the tapes or whatever, June 27th or whatever, and he used to just pass them out. So that's when I started like getting interested, like, man, what are these Screw tapes? Then like I finally heard one, and I was like, damn, this is actually this is live. I like this.
Well, I'm from Florida, and in Florida we like to speed it up a little bit. And I know that in
Yeah.
Houston, yeah, and I know in Houston y'all like to slow it down. So I was wondering, what to your ear is like what attracts the slowness to your ear? Like what do you prefer over the slowness to the speediness? I guess.
I would think that is like more. That's like more like a cultural thing because out here in H Town, folks just like to like I guess like in the inner city, folks just like to chill. Like they're just real chill, real mellow, and I guess that also that influence is also influencing like the regular music that comes from here, like the local music that was being created around that time, like the mid '90s. Fat Pat, Lil Kiki, ESG, all those cats, like their songs, like regular speed, were already like mellow tunes with with like melodic hooks and stuff like that. So when you were taking like the songs, you were like with DJ Screw when he was slowing them down, like they were just sounding like they would just sound like really mellow, like just it just reminded you of the type of songs that like the OGs around the time that they would pretty much be riding in their cars when like they're cruising through traffic. Like, each time we do things a little slow out here, like especially when it takes you a little while, it takes you 30 minutes to drive from like Missouri City area to go to like downtown or whatever. So you always have like pretty long drives in the car. So it made the drive a little bit more like just chill to have like that mellow, just like slow mix that just kind of like going on. So like when the OGs were doing that, like the young folks at the time, like myself included, we wanted to be like the older G's. So we were like, man, we like this chop and screw stuff. Like we like these screw tapes. And you gotta have these screw tapes, especially if you're from the south side of Houston. You gotta have a screw tape in your car.
How did you link with OG Ron C? I guess you did that later in your career. How did that happen?
Yeah, that happened much later. I guess like the real timeline, like I didn't really start like actually actively chopping music till like 2002. No, I take it back. 2001. Like I dabbled with it a little bit, like the late '90s, but it wasn't really like chopping and screwing. It was like some other shit. It was like it was slowing down the music, but it wasn't really like the DJing part of it. But
Yeah.
but I didn't really start till 2002, and I was doing my own thing for a long while. Fast forward to 2011, I was pretty much um, putting songs out on Twitter, putting songs out on YouTube. That's where a lot of people like now. That's where they kind of discovered me from because I was actually having like a YouTube channel. I was uploading songs like every day, sometimes like 3-4 times a day. Back in 2011, this catches the eye of Ron C. Late 2011, around the time when I chopped up Take Care. He's been like we were chopping it up back and forth or whatever, just like kind of, you know, he was giving me like words of wisdom. He was always like supportive of what I was doing, even though he had his own chop star group. And then come like 2012, he just hit me up like around the top of 2012, and he's like, "Man, do you want to join the Chop Stars?" And I was like, "Well," I was like, "I mean, no doubt. I see there's a good look." And fast forward to that fall, around August, that's when he announced me to the world that I was a Chop Star. It's been like that. We've been rocking ever since.
That's crazy. Well, I guess just to tap into a little bit into some of your individual tapes, which you have a lot. Can't even talk about all of them, but of course, everybody know your favorite rap tapes or whatnot. But I want to kind of specifically tap into your non-rap tapes. I feel like those are interesting because you don't see a lot of screw DJs doing a lot of non-rap tapes. So I was curious, what kind of brought you to wanting to do that?
What brought me to wanting to do that? Just so you mean non-rap, like mean like R&B or?
Or like how you would like do somebody like Frank Ocean or Jameson or somebody like that.
Okay. So we're talking about these R&B tapes. Um, I mean, lo and behold, from my start, people don't pretty much realize. But I guess people diehard people who follow me, they'll probably know that like if someone was to hold a gun up to my head and tell me you can't make any other chop tape except one particular type, what would it be? And I will always pick an R&B tape. If you look at my library, I have over 52 nice and slow tapes, like which is just primarily just R&B, only R&B, like no rap. Like some of them may have rap sprinkled in there because you know that's like the flavor of the time, but all R&B though. So I've always been like when it comes to like chopped up music, I always like R&B more than I like the rap. Like I like the rap. I grew up on the rap music, like hearing it slowed down, but but songs that I used to hear slowed down, that used to catch my ear, would always be freestyles. like from like the old Lil Kiki freestyles, and then R&B songs. OG Ron C back in the day used to have a series called Fuck Actions, which were just nothing but old R&B songs that would be out at the time, like late '90s, 2000s, and that was like my favorite shit. Like over a DJ Screw tape, like I love DJ Screw tapes, but that was my shit. Like I had to have like Fuck Action tapes. Like I had to. Like they always, to me, they always set the mood right when I was around a female. Like especially out here in Texas, like they all loved it. So I was like, I love that shit too. Then when I went out to college and I wasn't able to find the Fuck Actions anymore, I started creating my own. I was like, man, I gotta still get this particular sound. I need these ushers slowed down. I need these genuine slowed down. So I just made my own tapes called Nice and Slows, because Nice and Slow 1 had Usher's Nice and Slow on it. And I just started like going from there. So, I mean, I've always been into that R&B stuff. The stuff that's kind of like a little bit further off to the side, like the Frank Oceans that are kind of like more like alternative like music. I like those because it's just kind of like that's like my taste. Like those are songs that I already like normally. So if I hear a song that just sounds like really really mellow, like with good like guitar riffs and things of that nature, I always feel like I already have it slowed down in my head how I think it would sound. And what I didn't realize is that these particular projects that I do that are like that garner so much like attention.
Of course,
I didn't know that until like really it was the weekend. The weekend like of this particular type of sound, that because all the people you talk about, Frank Ocean, Jameson, to me they all kind of branched off that particular weekend sound, which I'm not saying they all sound the same, but what I mean by that weekend sound is like there'll be songs, but they have like empty space in the beats, empty space in the songs, and there's a particular mode that those songs put me in that when I chop them differently than like a traditional rap song. And I think that's what gravitates people to them. I don't really want to discuss the tricks and everything like that, but if you listen to if you listen to Frank Ocean, Purple Blonde, you know what I'm talking about. Like you hear like the melody, and it may sound like somewhere distant on your left side. You may hear the melody coming again from here. Then you may hear the melody again coming from like this side. And like, damn, like Frank Ocean just said this particular word over here on the regular song, but Slim K got him coming from like Frank Ocean coming from back here saying the same thing again. Like, where the hell is he coming from with this shit? Like that particular style, I only really feel that with those particular tracks. Jameson, I know I did that a lot on there. I know I did that a lot on Weekend. So I think that's what gravitates people to those particular type of tapes, that particular type of style that they put on those.
Well, I just gotta say personally as a fan, yeah, you a wild boy for that purple, man. That's a good ass tape right there, man. I like the way you did Ivy. Like it's such a slow song already, but the way you chopped it up and you did his vocals, like it's amazing. So just to talk about that just a little bit more, how do you, speaking of like these actual projects, not the way you screwed it or whatnot, but how do you personally feel about an album like Blonde? Like, did you enjoy that?
Blonde, I did enjoy it on the like the first initial listen. Um, it felt like one of those projects that I honestly like Blonde. I didn't know if I was gonna chop it up initially, and the reason being was it had a lot more. That had a lot more empty space. There's not many snares or anything in that album. If you really just listen to it, it's like a lot of like live, like a lot of, I want to say live, but a lot of instrumentation.
Yeah, I know you're saying. Yeah, I know exactly.
A whole lot of instrumentation in that album, just like kind of like just mood music, and then Frank Ocean just like singing over it. So there's no like beats. It's like not really many beats on the thing. So because it wasn't that many beats, like especially compared to his Channel Orange, like off initial listen, I'm like, wow. Like I know everybody's expecting me to do like some type of remix to this, because I know everybody liked Channel Purple back then, but like Channel Purple, I was like in a different mode. Like I was able to listen to Channel Purple, and I'm like, I already heard it